Call a meeting to order. Today is Tuesday, August 18th, 2020. It's 9 a.m. Proof of posting, please.
The agenda was posted on Thursday, August 13, 2020 at 4 p.m. and a supplemental agenda was posted on Friday, August 14, 2020 at 4 p.m.
Okay, thank you. This time, let's pause for a moment of silence, and then we'll have a pledge to the flags. Please join me. Okay. We did not receive any requests for public comments this morning. So we will go to under item D, under proclamations and resolutions. There is under D1 is a resolution to support the McLennan Community Investment Fund. Who has that resolution?
Cody gave it to you. I have a copy of it if you need it.
Judge, it's in the packet.
Okay. All right. This is a resolution by the Commissioners Court of McLennan County, Texas, in support of McLennan County Community Investment Fund. It's in the packet. Does anyone have any questions about this? If not, what? Yes.
I just didn't know what the McLennan Community Investment Fund was. If we had someone that could give us a little background on it.
All right. Dustin, can you brief us on that?
Yes, sir. All right. It's a nonprofit that's been set up by residents, and it's really trying to become a certified community development financial institution. It's focused on investment areas and to provide financial and development services to small businesses and individuals. And Judge, I know it was requested of our office by an individual, and if there's more info needed, we could try to get him on the Zoom call or defer it and bring him back next time.
Yeah, they needed this resolution to be in order for it to be recognized as a community investment fund. That we do not put any money into it, but they use this organization to access takedown funds to bring back into the community for to assist nonprofits and that have good reasons to exist and be able to put funding packages together.
Okay.
Okay. What's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve the resolution.
Is there a second? I'll second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. Call for a vote.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones, Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Thank you. Okay. Under E is a consent agenda. The only recommended pull is E6C. That's the auditor's financial report that she'll give later in the meeting. Is there any other recommended pulls by the court? If not, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda with the exception of E6C?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. Call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Let's see, is John Gimbel on the line?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, John. We have an item here under N5A, A and B. This is the public hearing on District Clerk's Preservation and Digitization Plan. So if you could brief report on this.
Sure. This is our kind of annual public meeting to review. We collect a few special revenue fees that have to have a public meeting to be continued collected. We keep those funds and use them to preserve and digitize our records. To date, we've covered back to the year 2000, and we're working on completing that year this year. The project was started in about 2005, so we're just slowly working backwards in time there.
Okay. Before I open the public hearing, do the commissioners have any questions? If not, I will declare that the public hearing on the proposed plan for the district clerk's office is now open. We have no one in the audience to speak to it. I don't know if anyone else on the court wants to speak. Seeing none, we would close the public hearing. Under N5B is the consideration or action to adopt the district clerk's document preservation and digitization plan.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Okay, is Janet Line on the line? Janet, are you available?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you.
Okay, sorry about the technical problems we had last time.
It looks like I'm doing better this time. Thank you.
Okay, so under F2B, there is an item here, McLennan County Dispute Resolution Center discussion regarding the funding increase request.
Yes.
So Janet, go ahead.
Well, the request is based on the increased needs that we have at the organization. And as I'm hoping that everyone had a chance to look at that. I did submit that. It is based on increases in affordable mediation requests. The pandemic has been a strong influence on this. The suspension of court proceedings and increased referrals, and those are imminently going to increase a lot more. The continuation of video conferencing, which is what we do at the DRC. At this point, we don't put people together in a room, and that has increased. And that's caused us to need to retain the 2 staff employees, myself and one other person, Matt Porter, both critical to the operations and continuation of this organization. We also anticipate as of January 1st that there will be an increase due to the JP Court increased amounts of the cases that they will be able to handle. The CPS cases themselves have continued pretty much the steady stream as normal, and we're doing all of those online. But those Zoom mediations require just more staff, more effort, and more training. We've increased our training. We have added 2, almost 3 now CPS mediators, which is helping us a lot. But that training, the Zoom training, the Zoom/mediation training is all taking more time of the staff. Those are some of the highlights of our increased expenses and the request for increased funding.
Okay, any questions anyone have?
Can we use any of that increase towards the COVID-19 expenses?
Dustin, can you answer that question?
I mean, it would have to be a direct tie to COVID. We can look at it. I don't think it'd be very likely, but we can certainly, as we track the expenses, see.
And just to give a little more information to, right now,
like she said, the general fund is providing $36,500 to the dispute resolution center, and then we also have a special revenue fund that supports it as well with a total annual amount of 54,000. So I think the increase she's asking could come from the special revenue fund. Is that how that's written in that request, Ms. Lyon?
Yes, it is. We know that there's ADR funds that come in, and that's where we were seeking it, not being aware or having much information on your COVID funds. We felt like if there was any reserves in that ADR fund from the filing fees, that would be most helpful at this time.
That's sufficient, the balance is sufficient.
Yes, this year there would be sufficient amount to cover that increase request. And then, like she said, if that's something then that that we could put under a grant, then we can move that, of course, to a grant fund if that time comes.
And I would want to watch it just from the standpoint, COVID, hopefully, we may be dealing with it for a while, but hopefully it won't be affecting us as much. And so I would kind of like to keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
And then also our JPs, we're putting them in a holding pattern with regards to wanting additional staff for the state statutes changing. And that's another thing that we want to keep our eye on before we make firm commitments, or at least I would like to in the future. But I'm agreeable to this year doing that for sure.
Yeah, and I agree with everything you said. Okay. All right, what's a decision of the court?
Make a motion to approve the request.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for the vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Fulton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Okay, going to F2C. Is Todd Burka on the line?
Yes, sir.
All right, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners.
All right, this morning, Mr. Burka's got a request in here. This is Waco Convention and Visitors Bureau discussion regarding the financial sponsorship request pertaining to a Major League Fishing Challenge Cup to Waco. So, Todd, if I don't know if Melinda's on as well, but if y'all will take it from here and outline your request.
Great, thank you. She is indeed, Judge. And good morning, Judge and Commissioners. We are presenting an opportunity. We want to thank you for giving us a platform here and presenting an opportunity to host again a fishing competition that is largely a made-for-TV event. The event would take place the first full week of October of 2020, so literally right around the corner. The Major League Fishing Organization, or MLF, is looking at Waco and Lake Waco and a couple of other surrounding bodies of water fisheries to host their Challenger Cup portion of their series. It would be 10 anglers individually on their boats originating from downtown Waco and then traveling each day to specified fishing location that would take place over a 5-day period of time. There is a sponsorship commitment to host this event, and we believe that we're in a competitive competitive position on this, with other destinations being considered around the region in Texas and other states. We're asking McLennan County's support of $5,000 to be cobbled with our own position, Waco Sports Commission, as well as Bell County and Bosque County to combine for this sponsorship package of $45,000. The sponsorship package really is goes towards the TV time purchase and some of the logistics. This is what this is not, is it's not a huge spectator event. There are really no discernible spectators. That is an organized sort of weigh-in. There's no expo. This is really a competition of these 10 anglers each day out on the different lakes. And so we're respectfully asking your support, and I can let Melinda chime in as well. But if you have any questions, we're happy to answer them as best we can.
In a non-COVID time, can you see this event, if it continues to come to this area, to add more where actually people can come to, like trade shows, sporting trade shows, boat show, where fishermen come to see the celebrity fishing people at an event?
Yeah, Melinda, this would be a good one for you to answer. You've done a lot of work on this one.
Yeah, so good morning, everybody. This would absolutely be something that we could in the future host a trade show with. Right now with social distancing requirements, it makes that kind of difficult to do so. But the planner basically said that, you know, if we were to win this bid and they would look at us for future years for other events, that they would absolutely love to partner with us to host something to bring in the community and boost economic development.
Okay. I don't know how many of y'all watch any of the sports, outdoor sports networks. This is a show, this major league fishing challenge is, it goes all over the United States. It's viewed by lots of folks. I've seen it numerous times. And so it gives some recognition. There's opportunity for our community to give recognition about what we're about. And, you know, if you think about it, between McLennan, Bell, and Bosque County, there's lots of great fishing spots here. And then also Waco's a great place to headquarter all kind of sporting events. And so other sporting entities would be watching and see how we do this for a small amount of money. I think this is something we ought to support. Any other thoughts by the commissioner?
Have the other entities committed yet?
They have. They're working through their process, but they have committed $5,000 each. So all three counties would be equally represented from the sponsorship standpoint.
So where would we take that money from? The Economic Development Fund?
Yes. Just, I think there's like 175,000 or so in that.
It would be coming from the general fund. Yeah, we could take it out of the economic development department of the general
Yeah, the
fund.
general fund,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, sir.
Any other thoughts?
Make a motion to approve the $5,000 request for the Major League Fishing Challenge Cup coming to Waco.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Motion been made second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. I'd like to go to item L2. Jared, are you on the line?
Yes, sir.
Okay, L2 is regarding the Texas A&M Agri-Life Extension Service Wildlife Services Program and authorization of feral hog grant application solution. So, morning, how are you today?
I'm good, sir.
Okay, let's hear your presentation.
Okay. Reagan said that y'all should all have the grant documentation in front of y'all or with y'all there in your packet. Wanted to put some things together. When this was sent out, Dr. McClellan and me visited a little bit, and then she reached out to me and with a couple questions and asked if we were interested. So I put some stuff together for y'all, kind of a rough budget request for this. Grant total would be for a $9,000 grant, with $6,000 of that being spent toward the bounty program to eliminate feral hogs in our county. With that $6,000, the grant would only fund half of that. So that would be a $3,000 toward from of the 9,000, and then with the rest of that being direct operating expenses for facilities and programs for the amount of 3,000. Abatement supplies being $2,000, and that's where I would hope to go and purchase some traps and trapping equipment to loan out to producers in the county to assist with trapping programs. And then office supplies, support stuff in the amount of 500, controlled assets being $500 for a total grant request being $9,000. As it's worded in the paperwork provided, the only hold up in my mind was the grant only covers half of the bounty program. So if we asked for $6,000 in there for the bounty program, the county would be responsible for half of that.
So the total cost to the county is 3,000?
Yes, sir. The grant is yes, that would be $3,000 for that. It's everything with the exception of that 3,000 is reimbursable upon providing the Wildlife Federation the documentation of items purchased, bounties collected, and all of that. And the Wildlife Services pays back quarterly.
Okay, and this is just for trapping?
This is just for feral hog abatement. Anything related to bounties. The way that would work is we would set up some check stations where they would when trappers, producers, however they acquired these feral hogs, they would turn in their tails for a $5 per tail bounty. The trapping equipment would be I was looking at purchasing some gates to go on corral traps because those are the most effective way to trap these hogs, and we would house those in our office here, and people could come check them out, use them. All this goes along with helping to eradicate the feral hog population in McLennan County.
Have y'all have an estimate of the amount of damage wild hogs do or feral hogs do? And
I looked for all that, visited with Dr. Tomachek, our extension wildlife specialist, and he couldn't give an exact for our county alone. But he said there's, the rough estimate population is 1.3 to 2.5 hogs per square mile within McLennan County. So you think about the number of square miles in McLennan County, on average at 2 hogs per square mile. That's quite a few hogs that are estimated to be in McLennan County alone.
Yeah, I think about half of them are within a mile of my house. There are hogs, they do a lot of damage, not only in agriculture and corn and milo fields and wheat fields, but also in towns and golf courses and where the damage is very expensive. And, I think these programs, we haven't done one since I've been in office, but I think they have some value to it. And I know Commissioner Perry said yesterday that, people are used to early on, the hunters would take their fair share of them, but now there's, it's not, it don't seem to be as an exciting piece of hunting as it used to be. So.
Right, and that's where the bounty offers just a little bit, but also with this, there's a certain parameter of education that goes along with this. Everybody who would participate in the bounty program or in the loaning out of the trapping materials from our office, they would have to go through a mandatory 1-hour educational program put on by our office to make sure they knew all the rules and regulations. So it also helps with education of the community, of the county as well. Making sure everybody's aware of all the rules and regulations and the details that go on to help work together to eradicate these fellas.
I had a question. Would this program contribute in any way to the disposal of these animals? Because we get a lot dumped on the side of the road.
Yeah, good question.
I don't know. I haven't found there was nowhere in here that talked about disposal of them. They didn't ask anywhere. There was no nowhere put in there that they offer anything. I can look into if there's ways for to help fund some disposal methods, but that was not in their original descriptions of what they talk about for abatement and trapping and everything else.
And I asked that question. We're finding 2 and 3, maybe a month, sometimes as much as 4 dumped on the side of the road. And I'd hate to see us get bounties and they just cut the tails off and then leave them dumped on the side of the road.
Right, and that's part of where the education would come in with those, to talk about how to properly dispose of them, talk about what to do with them. There are some live stations, not in McLennan County, but in surrounding counties that take feral hogs live, and they sell them, distribute them, process them, and different things like that. But that would be part of the education process, is to make sure we have these people who are trapping them and collecting on the bounties, know how to properly dispose of these hogs, whether it be however they choose to, or if they choose to process them and eat them themselves and stuff like that.
Okay. Is it any way that, I know you're going to deal with the individuals that are going to be participating under the grant program, but is it any way when you talk about the education on disposal of them that our guys can perhaps sit in on that session?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We can make, I can include whoever is interested. It doesn't have to just be people in this program, because we'll do, on top of the 1 hour, my plan is to do at least 2 multi-hour ones that encompass more than just the bounty program itself, or the grant program itself, but just feral hog management. We did one last month that was a 2-hour program that just talked about the whole parameters of, the damage they can possess, as well as how to work toward getting rid of them.
Okay.
What time of year would this bounty program happen?
The grant runs from October 1 through August 31 of 2021. The biggest times visiting with surrounding counties that currently participate in this grant program, they say their biggest time for the bounties distribution is right at, shortly after planting season. When corn and cotton, milo first get in the ground and just starts popping up, that's when that stuff really starts. That's when their biggest run of hogs, and that's when those farmers are really trying to prevent them from getting in. So over the fall, winter time is going to be your biggest run on bounties, from what I was from my experience with the counties surrounding us.
Yeah, they're more apt to come to traps, come to feed.
Yes. Yes. Right. Wintertime, when it starts cooling off, they're not very active right now. They're not out moving around too much because of the heat. So your biggest time for those guys who are hunting them and trapping them are in the fall, winter, and winter times.
Okay. Any other thoughts or questions from the court? What's the pleasure of the court?
I move
Motion
that
to
we approve the feral hog grant application.
Second the motion.
All right, motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Okay, pass. All right, that's got done with the stinky part of the agenda. Go back to the pulled item under the consent agenda, E6C, Auditor's Financial Report. Francis?
So we had included the financial report for the month ending through the year through the end of July 31st. I don't really have a formal report today, but just again, we're on track. Even through July, we did better than we anticipated for July. Expenditures are on track. As we talk through the budget process, we plan to still come, of course, under budget for the year. So everything is just moving along and towards the end of the year, September 30th.
Okay.
Are you seeing very many departments or elected offices go ahead and buy things that they had requested in 2021?
Yes. We've had quite a few actually. And of course, it's sometimes kind of a hard call because you have to make sure you get that by September 30th to make sure that expenditure, shows up in this year. Sometimes we have some that you know, they think they're going to get it before September 30th, but something holds them up vendor wise. So, you know, every once in a while we'll have something that we do need to look at after the year starts if something is delayed in coming in. But we've had, like, to answer your question, yes, we've had quite a few.
And would you mind sending out another communication for department head and elected officials if they have any questions about prepaying, that y'all would help answer those questions?
Definitely.
Encourage them to try to make those purchases before year end.
Perfect. We will do that.
All right, thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, is there any other questions for Francis? If not, is there a motion to approve for recording purposes?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Smell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Okay, going to item F under budgets, budget amendments, transfers and changes. Under F1 regarding the FY20 budget. Francis?
Yes, sir. So FY20 budget amendments, starting with F1A. This is in the Records Management Fund. The request is to increase furniture and equipment within that fund for the purchase of a shop vac. F1B, this is General Fund for the Mental Health Court Services Department, requesting to move money within that department into supplies for items that are needed for the remainder of the year. F1C, this is General Fund for Constable Precinct 5, requesting to move within his department into other services and charges for security costs for the remainder of the year. F1D, this is General Fund for AgriLife Extension, requesting to move within their department in order to finish out the year for their copier lease cost. F1E, this is General Fund. This was a budget amendment that was actually on the last agenda, but there was not quite enough money in one of the line items by the time it was approved in court. So this is just a correction to a budget amendment that was on the August 4th agenda. F1F, this is General Fund. This is also a budget amendment related to a budget amendment that was also on the August 4th agenda. The engineering office moved money into furniture and equipment, but the item that they're going to purchase is actually going to exceed $5,000. So we're just adjusting that and moving the money into capital outlay. F1G, this is the Permanent Improvement Fund related to the 2017 bond, and this is a budget amendment related to the Archives Building chiller upgrade. F1H, this is General Fund, Road and Bridge Precinct 3, and the request is to move money within that department into equipment rentals and repair and maintenance. We can pull with no action I and J. F1K, this is General Fund, and these are costs we've incurred related to COVID-19. So we're cleaning up these line items now. But again, as we've said each time, as we move forward with the grant process, we'll be moving these costs out into a grant fund if those are eligible costs. F1L, this is the Permanent Improvement Fund related to the 2019 bond. And this is a budget amendment related to the asbestos abatement, demolition, and other work to be done at the downtown jail. F1M, this is General Fund for the County Auditor's Office. And the request is to move money within our department into furniture and equipment to purchase some things that need to be replaced before the end of this year. F1N, this is General Fund, Justice of the Peace Precinct 1-2. Request to move within that department into other services and charges for some cell phone and hotspot cost. F10, this is in the Justice Technology Fund. The request is from JP Precinct 2, and it is a request to increase the line item for other services and charges, and it's related to hotspot charges for the remainder of the year. F1P, this is general fund for County Treasurer's Department. They're requesting to move within their department. They need a little more for travel reimbursement, and then they would like to move some into furniture and equipment to go ahead and purchase some laptops. F1Q, this is general fund, Road and Bridge Precinct 1, requests to move within their department into furniture and equipment. And F1R, general fund, Road and Bridge Precinct 2, requesting to move within their department into repair and maintenance.
Okay, are there any questions about any of those? With the exception of the two pulls with no action, which was F1I and F1A, is there a motion to approve the balance of those requests?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller, Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Under F2s regarding the FY 21 budget, F12A, discussion or action regarding matters relative to the FY 21 budget and the 2020 tax rate. Francis?
So if there's anything else anyone wants to bring up today, we can discuss those matters. If not, we're working towards, of course, the adopted budget for next Tuesday. We've adjusted the budget to include some personnel changes that you made last week. Review minutes. There was an increase for liability insurance. We will also go in and adjust a couple of those things you approved today, the economic development and the cash match for that feral hog grant.
Okay.
Also, this will be on next week's agenda, but yesterday I had our district judges hearing where they set our budget and salaries. And so the one difference is that they went ahead and budgeted some incentive pay for our office. We've never been included in that program. So that appears in our budget, and very similar to the way the juvenile department works. They follow the same guidelines that you've set. But of course, the district judges have approved that the way you do for other employees. So that was the change there for ours. And like I said, we'll have those actual orders on the agenda on next Tuesday.
Okay.
Is there any other matters that you'd like to discuss? You know, we're still sitting at that close to 33.5% as fund balance as a percentage of expenditures. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Any questions? Okay. Is there a motion to approve that report for recording purposes?
So move.
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones, Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Okay, pass. Under F2D, authorization of county legal service budget. This is the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services. And
Judge, we need to.
I'm sorry, Siri is not supposed to be in this.
We need to defer D and E today.
All right. All right, is there a motion to defer F2D and F2E?
So move.
Second.
Okay, motion made and second. Any other discussion? No discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Under F2F, the tax office recording of vehicle inventory tax budget. This is a recording of the tax office. This is the restricted special funds vehicle inventory tax estimate and expenditure budget for FY21.
Yes, sir.
Any questions on that? Is there a motion to accept for recording purposes?
So move.
Second.
Motion been made. Second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. Call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Under G is bids, RFPs, RFQs. Under G1 is authorization regarding the bid RFP renewals. G1A is regarding bid number 18-023, transportation of deceased for chemical analysis, Waco Mortuary Services. Ken?
Yes, sir. As just stated, we have a contract for the transportation of deceased for chemical analysis with Waco Mortuary Services. The initial term of the contract was for 1 year starting October 1, 2018, ending September 30th, 2019. The contract included an option to renew annually if prices remain the same or there is a decrease in pricing at the discretion of the Commissioner's Court. This contract was amended in 2020 to add a $75 fee to be paid each time McLennan County requests Waco Mortuary to perform a COVID test on a deceased. We consulted with the justices of the peace and were told they were pleased with the service provided by Waco Mortuary and would like to renew this bid. We contacted Ms. Linda Owens with Waco Mortuary, and she stated she would like to renew this contract for another year at the current pricing. We bring before the court the option to renew this contract from October 1, 2020 through September 30th, 2021 with no increase in pricing.
Okay, any questions for Ken? If not, what's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve G1A.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. Call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Under G1B regarding bid number 19-026. This is a bid for inmate clothing from Bob Barker Company. Ken?
Yes, sir. The initial term for this contract was October 1, 2019 through September 30th, 2020. The bid stated we have an option to renew this contract annually if the prices remain the same or there is no more than a 3% increase at the discretion of the Commissioner's Court. We consulted with David Ives and he stated he would like to renew the contract for another year. We then consulted Bob Barker Company and received an email with them stating they would like to renew the contract for another year at the current pricing. If approved, this contract will be in effect from October 1, 2020 through September 30th, 2021.
Okay. All right. Any questions about that? Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
All right. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. Call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell, Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Okay, pass. Under regarding RFP 19-025, McLennan County Pauper Burial and Cremation contract with Lakeshore Funeral Home. Ken?
Yes, sir. Again, this was just done last year. The initial term for this contract was from October 1, 2019 through September 30th, 2020. The RFP included a clause stating this bid could be renewed annually if there was no more than a 3% increase at the discretion of the Commissioners Court. We consulted with Heather Travers, and she would like to renew this contract for another year. We then consulted Mr. Brent Shehorn with Lakeshore Funeral Home and received an email from him that he would like to renew this contract for an additional year with a 2.1% increase. If approved, this contract would be in effect from October 1, 2020 through September 30th, 2021.
Okay, any questions? If not, is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
To approve.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell, Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Fulton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Under G2 is authorization of Quit Hit Fitness Lab Employee Discount Proposal. Rosemary?
Offer for Quick Hit Fitness Lab. This is a professional training program. It is one-on-one. You have a 20-minute session. You are with a trainer. There are many machines that you do weight resistance with. He sets that up, calculates, you're monitored, your progress is also monitored. This is a substitute, if you will, since the gyms are closed. And we have no way other than that for those that want to get out and do some exercise. So they're offering a discount to our employees of 30% off. 20-minute sessions. The first two would be free, and it would be up to the individual employee if they wanted to take advantage of the discount. It doesn't have anything to do with the county to support it other than to approve the offer that they're making.
Questions? What's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve G2.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Fulton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Okay, going to item H, under contracts under local agreements and memorandums of understanding. Under H1 is authorization of Fuel Man Fleet Card client agreement with Fleet Core Technologies Operating Company, LLC. These are fuel cards. Well, it says agenda pull this item, no action, so we will pull that. Okay, going to item H2 is needs to be deferred. So I'll make a motion, we defer H2.
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Fulton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Under H3 is authorization under local cooperation agreement with the city of Moody.
Motion to approve.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any other discussion? No discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Fulton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Under H4 is authorization of amended interlocal agreement with the city of Belmead. This is in the corporation in cooperation in the administration and enforcement of the county's game room regulations. This agreement was made, which would Belmead would be in charge of enforcing the game rule. And I would, this is a good agreement in my opinion. I'd make a motion that we approve that.
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Under H5, ratification of customer service agreement with Republic Service. This is the dumpster rental for Road and Bridge Precinct 3. Commissioner Jones.
We are renting, since we don't have McPuff services, and we need a trash dumpster at our yard. I make a
Okay.
motion that we approve.
Okay. Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Under H6 regarding the internet service for the 10th Court of Appeals of Texas. H6 is authorization and local agreement with Office of Court Administration. So I'd call on Dustin and Lisa to fill us in on this.
All right, Judge, I'll start, then Lisa can kind of fill in anything I missed. The 10th Court of Appeals have reached Lisa and myself about increasing their high-speed internet service, and H6B is actually the service agreement with Grande that increases it at a cost of $129 a month. H6A is the interlocal agreement with OCA. OCA will reimburse the county for the cost of that internet service. So
Okay.
I don't know if the court has any other questions about it.
Any questions anyone have? If not, what's the pleasure of the court? Is there a motion to approve H6A and H6B?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Under H7 regarding the current McLennan County inmate medical health service agreement with Core Health. This is authorization of a consumer price index increase. And I think this increase is an amount of about 3%. Major Armstrong, are you on? Do you have any comments on that, or anyone else from Sheriff's Department?
Yes, sir, I'm on. They are asking for a 3% increase. This is our medical provider and mental health provider. We are very pleased with their service, so I'd recommend to approve if y'all would.
Okay. What's the pleasure of the court?
Make a motion
Motion
to
approved. Second.
Motion been made, second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. I'd like to hold Chris Collins' report just for shortly and go to under item J, under J1 regarding the Cowboy Watershed Control Structure number 3. Under J1A is authorization of payment application number 1. Well, access pool with no action on J1A and J1B. Okay, going to item K is real estate right of ways. Under K1 is authorization temporary construction license with the city of Waco. K1A is regarding the public right of way improvement for 1017 Elm Avenue. Zane, good morning. Can't hear you, Zane. Can't hear you.
I believe you're muted, Zane.
Y'all see the problem? Okay,
You want to come to my office, Zane?
yeah, okay. let's go to under under grants and grants proposal. We'll come back to Zane's. Under L1 regarding the Homeland Security Grant Division, FY 2020 Border Prosecution Unit Grant. Who can speak to this one?
And Judge, this is just a certification form that's required to go along with that grant application.
Okay. All right, is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second? Motion
Second.
made. Any other discussion? No discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Okay, pass. Going back to items K, under K is authorization temporary construction license with City of Waco. K1A is regarding public right-of-way improvement for 1017 Elm Avenue. Zane?
Yes, sir, Judge. Item K1A and K1B are both a request from the City of Waco to do a temporary construction license as they are working on the sidewalk and retaining wall on Elm Street. Actually, the addresses are 1017 Elm and the other one is 1011 Elm, and I recommend approval.
Okay. Questions, anyone? If not, is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve K1A and K1B.
Second.
Pass. Any other questions? If not, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Under M, under Department Office and Special Request, under M1 is Justice Peace Precinct 4, authorization of cell phone hotspot. This is a total cost of $39 a month plus $5 for hotspot option, taxes and fees. Any questions about that? It'll come from the JP Technology Fund.
Motion to approve M1.
Second.
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any other discussion? No discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell, Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Under M2 is County Sheriff authorization cell phone request. Like the last one, it's $39 a month plus taxes and fees. Is there a motion to approve? I'll move. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Okay, under N is additional items of discussion matters for COVID-19. Let's see, is Elizabeth, well, I believe Elizabeth's out of town. Oh, okay, there you are. Okay, Elizabeth, you want to give us an update on COVID-19 situation in McLennan County?
Yes, sir. As of yesterday, we had 16 new cases, bringing the total number of cases to date to 5,372. There are 1,671 estimated active cases and 3,628 estimated cases who have recovered. There are 53 cases that are hospitalized right now. Out of the 53, 40 of those are McLennan County residents. 16 of those are on ventilators, and we did have one additional new death yesterday. There are a total of 73 deaths in McLennan County.
Okay, are there any questions? I know on the calls, it looks like that both hospitals have adequate room in both the acute care as well as the ICU side. And so things are, that's good. All right, any questions anyone would have for Elizabeth? If not, is there a motion to approve the report for recording purposes?
So move.
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. N2 is authorization appointment of Heart of Texas Regional Mental Health, Mental Retardation Board. The Heart of Texas Regional Mental Health, Mental Retardation Center Board of Trustees is requesting the reappointment of Josh Borderud. If reappointed, his term will expire on September the 22nd. And I know that he's really taken an active part in leadership of that organization. He's fairly new to the board, and so I would support his reappointment. What's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Under N3 is authorization of order accepting donations for special court programs. Francis?
Yes, sir. So the specialty courts, every month, I'm sure, I know there are some that they're receiving small items that are donated to them to give as incentives to their program participants. And so the local government code dictates that all donations, whether it be cash or whether it be a physical item, should be accepted by the court. So cash will bring through separate, and you'll see those checks as they come in. But the physical items, we're going to gather together once each month and then put this on an agenda so that you may accept it as an entire list. So this would be the list for the month of July, I believe. So.
Okay. All right. Is there a motion to approve the donations?
So moved.
Second.
Motion been made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Under D4 is discussion or action on extending the COVID-19 state disaster and public health emergency declaration through September 30th of 2020. Dustin?
And Judge, just as you said, what this does is it extends our current disaster declaration through September 30th, 2020, and that will align with what the city of Waco is proposing to do at this afternoon's city council meeting.
Okay. Any questions anyone have? If not, what's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Under N6 is authorization of submission of amended notice of intent for small municipal separate storm sewer system authorization under the TPDES Phase 2 under the general permit and related to stormwater management program. Zane?
Yes, sir, Judge. The stormwater plan was originally submitted back in May of last year, and the TCEQ reviewed it, wanted a few changes. We made those changes, and they are satisfied with our changes, and we are submitted it again for recordation.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Zane? If not, is there a motion to approve the amended notice of intent and related stormwater management program plan?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Under N7 is authorization of local intergovernmental transfer of funds derived from the county healthcare provider participation fund mandatory payments to provide the non-federal share of a supplemental payment program authorized under the Texas Healthcare Transformation and Quality Improvement Program, otherwise known as the 1115 waiver, and the non-federal share of Medicaid rate increase for hospital services available under the Local Provider Participation Fund, or the LPPF. Heather?
Yes, sir. Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. The HHSD has provided notice to IGT for the District Year 3 with the uncompensated care payment. We don't have that exact amount right now as it's not due until the 3rd of September, so we're a little ahead of the curve. So we're just requesting to be able to IGT up to the balance in that LPPF fund of $1,008,573.08.
Okay. Are there any questions? If not, what's the pleasure of the court?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion been made, second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Okay, pass. Under O, American Disability Compliance Project, under O1's authorization of professional service invoice for CPNY O1A regarding the ADA study report for May. Dustin?
Yes, sir. Judge, I don't know if the court would like to take A, B, and C together, but these
Yeah.
are the ADA study reports for May, June, and July. The bulk of this work was at either the preparing the report on the MHMR Crisis Center, finishing up some of the work, ADA work at the Bill Oak Juvenile Detention Center, and then beginning the work at the fairgrounds. So the May bill totaled $4,639.50. June was $10,556.50, and July was $7,568.50.
Okay. All right, what's the pleasure of the court? I'll make a motion we approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion been made, second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Under P, and McLennan County Venue Project, authorization for phase 1, 2, and/or phase 3, including but not limited to P1s regarding the architectural service agreement with Populous, and P1A is authorization of professional service invoice for July services invoice number 0070168. Ken?
Yes, sir. They submitted the invoice amount of $28,600. I believe Dustin and I both have looked at this invoice and we're good for it to be paid.
Okay. All right. Now, what's any questions court have on that? If not, is there a motion to approve invoice for July services?
Motion to approve for July services.
Second.
Okay, motion been made second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Under P2, we have nothing this week for the construction manager and risk agreement with John W. Irwin General Contractor Incorporated. Under,
Judge, can I say something real quick?
yeah,
I just wanted to say, Ken and I are on the weekly meetings with Irwin and with Populous, and we are working on setting up a virtual walkthrough of the kind of the progress being made on the venue projects. That'll happen sometime in probably September or early October.
okay, great. That's a great idea. Okay, under Q's McLennan County Radio Tower Project, we have nothing this week. Under supplemental agreement agenda, we have additional items to discuss under B1 regarding Cowboy Watershed Control Structure number 8. This is a maintenance of RFP 20-018 B1A is authorization of payment application number 1. Okay, Zane?
Judge, B1A and B1B go together. That's the full payment for Caballo Site 8. HCS did a very good job of cleaning up that dam, that soil conservation dam. The property owners pleased with it, and we are as well. We recommend approval.
Okay. Any questions? Anyone have?
Yeah, Zane, what about that Site 10 problem that we're having out there? I know that guy's not happy at all with the way that work's being done.
So Site 10?
Site 10, yes. And I talked to NCRS and they were gonna get some people involved and try to meet with that individual along with myself and maybe you, because I think he just needs, we need to explain to him what all's happening, but I don't think they really involved him in the decision. They just went out there and did it on his land and never asked or didn't fully understand. So I think we need to make sure we get that resolved before we get that paid.
Well, the contractor on that project has been proceeding as planned and has been doing a good job. The landowner is unhappy that number one, there's a 73-acre drainage easement across his property for the soil conservation dam. Site 10 project was to totally tear down the dam and the siphon and rebuild it, and that's occurred. They needed a little bit more dirt to get the dam fully repaired, and that was a little less than a half an acre, and the property owner is unhappy that half an acre is going to be utilized for the dam because he can see the disturbed ground from his house, and he's just not happy that it's occurring. Any of this is occurring. He claimed that he did not know that there was a drainage easement, and that was a soil conservation dam. So we're about 95% complete with that project, but I would be happy to meet with you and him. And I've met with him in the past and talked with him many times on the phone, but he's not happy.
Well, I think we just need to do a little more prep work and make sure people understand what the process is going to be before people just have their, it's his land. He wasn't fully explained. He thought all the dirt was going to be taken out of the pond side. And in turn, it's left a big rut behind his dam. So we need to I want to set a meeting up with him and the representatives from the state and make sure we get everybody on the same page before we close that project out.
Okay.
Zane, all the work was done within the easement, right?
That is correct, sir.
Yeah, it's just a matter that the landowner doesn't understand what the easement says.
Yes, sir.
But whatever y'all decide I'm good with. Okay. All
I
right.
recommend approval for item B1A and B1B.
Okay. What's the pleasure of the court?
I had a question. Was Commissioner Snell asking to defer it until after this meeting?
It's two separate actions or two separate projects. Commissioner Snell was talking about structure 10, and what's on the agenda today is pay items for structure 8.
Okay, so it doesn't have anything to do with what you're talking about, Kelly?
No, I just want to make sure Zane was aware before we get that in court that we need to at least address the landowner's concerns before we get that job paid for.
Okay.
Thank you, Pat.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve B1B and B1, yes, B and B2? No, excuse me, I'm sorry.
I'll make a motion to approve B1A and B1B.
Thank you. All right. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Motion been made and second. Any other discussion? No discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Under B2, I want to hold that just for a second. Under work session items, there are the report there for the Ankle monitoring program is in the report. Is there anything else under work session items that need to be brought up or put on the next agendas? If not, I want to go back to Chris Collins' reports under I-1, program project agreement with Tractor Supply, and then economic development report, and then jump from there to the under additional items, Chris Collins' economic development report, and then she has an item to go into executive session, which I will announce that at the appropriate time. So, Chris, good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Judge, I'm sorry, do you want me to do the program project agreement first or the monthly report?
Why don't you pick it?
Okay, we'll do the program project agreement first.
Okay.
Item IB1 is program project agreement with Tractor Supply Company of Texas. We have been working with Tractor Supply for a bit of time. They have come to us with a challenge that they were facing regarding the facility on Corporation Parkway. As you know, that facility has been there for quite some time, and when they and the Walmart Return Center located there, there was really nothing else around in that area. And since then, that Hillcrest, or Baylor Scott and White Hillcrest, relocated across the street. There's been build out of the Legends Crossing development, and there's just a tremendous amount of increase in traffic, both on their campus and off-site. They've seen a lot of growth of their business over the last few years, and their employee headcount is now at 400. What we have proposed today for you is, the result of which is significant traffic congestion related to the entrance of their facility right at Corporation Parkway and the I-35 frontage. There's oftentimes a backup of traffic there, truck traffic, and then traditional vehicular traffic, both their employees and then those folks that are utilizing that area for in and out. Tractor Supply mentioned to us that they were having an issue where the congestion was to the point where their employees were now late for work, so they've had to make some adjustments there. But at the end of the day, they said, we would really like to continue to grow at this facility, but we're reaching some limits here. When Tractor Supply did their last expansion in the 2010 timeframe, the Waco Industrial Foundation provided them with some additional acreage that they owned that was adjacent to the property. And we've been able to look at this and think through an alternative solution for them, which would be to relocate their trucking entrance from Corporation onto Bagby. So it would create an entrance near the edge of the property where the Walmart Return Center is, create a driveway down the backside of those properties, and create a new entrance for Tractor Supplies for their trucks. We looked at the value that Tractor Supply brings to the community, and it is quite substantial. When you look at their operations, I mentioned before, they have 400 employees with an average annual salary of $32,500 a year. They currently have $31 million worth of taxable assets on the tax rolls, plus an additional $15 million a year in taxable inventories. And they are looking at ways in which they're going to continue to grow the operation. So what you have before you is a program project agreement with the Waco-McLennan County Economic Development Corporation in the amount of $2,700,000 to help offset costs associated with the new drive. In addition to this, Tractor Supply will be making $9 million worth of capital investments over the next through 2025 and retaining their 400 employees through that time period as well. When we look at the return on investment for that, the county has a 23.6% return on investment in 4.5 years. The city is 41.3% in 2.6 years, and it's combined is 32.4% in 3.3 years. So strong return on investment that will help this long-term, long-tenured company continue to grow in our community.
Okay, any questions? Okay, what's the pleasure of the court?
Make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second the motion.
Motion been made. Second, any other discussion? No other discussion, call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Okay. All right, you have in your package the monthly economic development report for July. Chris?
Yes, sir. We've still seen a lot of activity over the last few months. You'll notice on your business attraction and expansion report, we had two fairly large projects that were added in the past 30 days, one in manufacturing and one in distribution. One is a Fortune 100 company. The other one is an international business related to the automotive world. But also when we look at the current active projects, attraction projects, the majority of projects that we're seeing right now are new business opportunities for the community and a tremendous amount of activity in both manufacturing and distribution that we've been working on. Of the projects that we see on the horizon, project during July, project Calcite Mineral, Project Glam, Diana, Promise, Cool Breeze, Yellow, and Spin were ones that were incredibly active for us. And then looking at current active expansion projects, Project AMP and Project Cowboy were one we were heavily engaged in as well. We think that 2020 is going to be a tremendous year for us despite what's happening with the pandemic. And we see that Waco and McLennan County have a lot of great things on the horizon.
Okay, also in the report is the financials, the chamber, which per our agreement, they met that by providing that. Is there any questions anyone have? Okay, is there a motion to approve the monthly economic development report for July for recording purposes?
So move.
Is there a second? Motion made and second. Any other discussion? No other discussion. Call for a vote.
Commissioner Snell,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Judge Felton,
Aye.
Commissioner Jones,
Aye.
Commissioner Perry.
Aye.
Pass. Are there any items before we go into executive session we need to clean up on the agenda? Dustin or Reagan? Nothing? Okay.
No, sir.
Okay. This time, I'd like to go into a 5-minute recess. When we come back, we will go into executive session under 2 different items that I'll announce at that time. Thank you. Yes. All right, let's call court back into session. I'd like to go into executive session under section 551.076 of the government code, deliberating regarding security devices or security audits, and also under section 551.087 of the government code regarding economic development negotiations. I would like to start with Chris Collins being in the first part of that session, along with Francis Bartlett and Dustin Chapman in that meeting. So then after Ms. Collins is done with her report, then we'll bring in Lisa Fetch to talk about the other security item. So
And
there'll be-
Judge, in the security one, we can keep Kathy Van Wolf in for it as well.
Okay, so right now, we're gonna just start out with Chris Collins and not have those other guests here.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. back into regular session. Just point out to the commissioners that
This meeting is being recorded.
okay. All right, we're back into regular session, and there are items on the work session that I ask you to look at and see if we want to move anything forward in future meetings. Other than that, is there anything else to come before the court? If not, we stand adjourned.